Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where I, Steve Akeley, by myself today, am going to be talking about an event put on by the South Oldham Rotary, a bourbon and wine festival, going to be held at Yew Dell Gardens in Crestwood, Kentucky on October 3rd from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Welcome to the show, folks. So yeah, we've got a fun one today. We're going to be talking about what's going on October 3rd, this Bourbon and Wine Festival. Sounds like a great event. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit of strategy, because I think one of the biggest mistakes that's made in an event like this is, just going in and thinking, man, I have unlimited tastings. I got to try everything. I got to jump on this. Table number 1, I want to taste through everything they've got, and then I'll move on to table number 2. The problem, folks, is there are over 25 vendors here. So and we're talking about wineries and bourbon distilleries. And then you've got, they're all doing multiple pours, plus, and that's over 100 right there. There's over 100 pours that are available. Some of them probably have something behind the table. So if you engage them in conversation and stuff like that, next thing you know, they're like, hey, this is something our distiller's working on. So there's the potential for even more than 100 pours here. And you can't do all of them. So that's the biggest mistake that I see people making at festivals and things like that. They get there and they just feel unleashed because they have unlimited pours and got to try it all. But that'd be like the same thing if you went to a real nice buffet for dinner and you're like, well, I got to try everything on the buffet, and you start piling things up from each station at the buffet. Next thing you know, there's not enough room on your plate, and you get a second plate, and then you can't carry more beyond that. So it's just can be too much, and that's the same thing with these. You gotta be strategic. You gotta look at the brands, and you probably want to try something from each of them. So pick and choose. You can always go back. That's the thing. That's part of the strategy. If you're still feeling pretty good, maybe you make your first pass through, and you've gone through and you've tried what you think are like the greatest hits out of each of the vendors that are there. You can go back and try other things. You can go a little bit deeper into their portfolios, but you don't want to go in thinking, I'm going to do it all. I'm going to taste the event here. I can do this. You can't. And obviously there's some great choices here. So you want to be strategic about what you're doing. You want to maybe try things you haven't tried, things that you're thinking about buying. It's a great opportunity to get to know these distillers a little bit better, have some conversations. I think that's part of it too. It's not just about, the drinking. So it's about, walking away with some knowledge, helping you out make decisions down the road. And none of that's going to happen if you sit there and drink everything at the table and end up having to, get help to get out of there. It can ruin what is potentially a great event. This sounds like a really great event. So that's my point there. That's what I wanted to convey to you today, that if you're going to something like this, be strategic, put together a plan and execute that plan. And if you do that, this can be one of the best events going. We're going to talk about some of the things that make this thing special. So we'll get to that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hi, this is Rick Brenner, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Shouldn't it be the legend?
Maybe.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're talking about an event on October 3rd. This is a bourbon and wine festival. It is put on by the South Oldham Rotary. So Oldham County, Kentucky, they, of course, are part of that. And they raise money that helps a variety of charities. It's not a specific charity. It's a variety of charities in the area of Oldham County. So the event is going to be held, my understanding, I haven't been to this place before, but reminds me of the Missouri Botanical Gardens. They've got the Yew Dell Botanical Gardens in Crestwood, Kentucky. So it sounds like a beautiful place to have an event. So you get to enjoy the botanical gardens as you're walking around and going and visiting different vendors. Again, this is a combination of bourbon and wine. So, if I would go to an event like this, I'd want to, try both. I feel like I could get more educated on the wine side. I don't really know a whole lot about wine. I like wine. And if I was in an event like this, I'd be drinking some wine as well as the bourbon. Again, going back to what I said in the first segment, you'll probably want to have a plan together. Hit your highlights on your bourbon. What are the things that you got to try? Maybe there's some new events. I see Maker's Marks here. So you've got, Kentucky Peerless, Four Roses, Maker's Mark, Log Still, Holiday, Filmland Spirits, Shep the Creed, etc. There's a lot going on here. But I'd like to hit things like if I go to Maker's Mark, do they have that new wheat whiskey that they've got? It's very limited. It's tough to get. I haven't seen it on the shelves yet. It hasn't made it to Missouri, as far as I know. So that would be something I want to try. That'd be part of my plan. Hey, Makers, do you have some of that? I'd love to try that, and then see if I like it or not. I've heard good things about it. I would probably expect to like it, but I want to taste it for myself because we all know that everybody's taste palate is just a little bit different. So that's the plan. It is from 6:30 to 9:30. Now that's just with your general admission ticket, but your general admission ticket is pretty cool. It not only does it get you in there from 6:30 to 9:30, unlimited tastings at all of these vendors. You also get a barbecue buffet. So great opportunity. When you're drinking like that, great opportunity to take a break, get some food in your belly. That certainly helps. That if you're going there with an empty stomach, again, it's the alcohol is going to impact you much quicker. So barbecue buffet sounds perfect. So that is a great pairing with that as well. So you can get a general admission ticket that'll get you both the wine and bourbon as well as the barbecue. There's a VIP admission, and the VIP gets everything that's included in the first one, plus a premium bottle of bourbon. So they did a barrel pick specifically for this event. It's not listed in the information there, but you have the opportunity to get that, and that's included in your ticket price. Now, some of the things that I hear when we do events like this, and I don't necessarily do an event exactly like this, but we'll do like a barrel release party where the ticket price includes, a bottle. And one of the criticisms that I get at the ABV Barrel Shop when we do something like that is, hey, we're a couple, we're husband and wife or whatever, and we don't need 2 bottles. We don't each need one. So with the couples VIP, you save some money because there's only 1 bottle between the two. So if you want to go there and maybe you're like, we want each one a bottle. There's many couples that are like that. They got one and then a backup because they both enjoy drinking bourbon. So, why not get one with the VIP where you both get a bottle? But you just buy 2 individual VIP tickets. But if you're going as a couple and you're like, we don't need 2 bottles, they have a couples VIP that includes everything that we talked about before, plus just a single bottle between the two that, again, saves you some money because you're not paying for a second bottle that you don't necessarily want. They've added something cool this year, too. I know we promoted this a little bit in the spring. Something that has been added, they're giving away via raffle a 20-year-old Pappy Van Winkle. So you can get in and get tickets for that. So what I'm going to do for you folks, I'm going to put links in the description of this podcast. And those links will include the general admission ticket, the VIP admission ticket, the couples VIP admission, and last but not least, the raffle where you can buy a ticket. And there's only 300 tickets being sold, so you got a pretty good opportunity to win that bottle of 20-year-old Pappy Van Winkle. Very coveted, instantly worth thousands of dollars. Crazy to think about. That was always my go-to back in the day. I haven't had a drink of Pappy Van Winkle 20 in probably a couple years. Every once in a while, someone will have one and I'll get a taste of it, but I haven't bought a bottle myself in probably 7 or 8 years. So it's been a long time. Now, back when I when I was a sales guy, working my corporate job, 20-year-old Pappy Van Winkle was something I could get on the shelf, and I would buy it whenever I had a big win. When you're in sales, it's all about that roller coaster of when you make a big sale, you celebrate, and when you're not doing good, you just got to dust yourself off and just somehow keep going, and in hopes that you land another big account down the road. But when I land something big like that, bottle of 20-year-old Pappy Van Winkle, it wasn't very expensive at that time. Matter of fact, I had no idea it got to the popularity that it did until it was all gone. I would have loved to just snatched up a bunch from the store that I used to go to and get this from all the time. I've told the story many times that they had 28 bottles of it on the shelf, and I thought, who would ever buy that much? They'll never have to buy Pappy Van Winkle again, other than if I get 28 big wins. So how things have changed. I wish I could go back in a time machine and get all those, and just sell those as I need a couple $1,000 here and there. That'd be pretty fun. But so this sounds like a great event. Again, it's October 3rd, 2025. Tickets are going to be in the they will be in the description of this. We're also going to have this featured in the issue of Quick Bourbon Notes on Friday, so the same day that this comes out. I'll put a link to that as well if you want to see the article about that. It's got some further information, and so that will be included in the description as well. And hopefully you guys get the opportunity to go to this. Sounds like a great event. Sounds like a fun time for sure, and that's going to do it for today. As we wrap this one up, of course, don't forget, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. That's going to do it for today. Of course, give us a 5-star review with comments. It helps new people find the show. That's pretty darn important to us. We appreciate that. And, of course, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya. Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.